23 minutes. That is all I had between the phone call and the moment my own father stopped being my father in any way that mattered. My name is Sutton Aldine. I am 36 years old. I work as a large animal veterinarian on 12 acres outside Austin, Texas, that my grandmother left me when she died. I live alone except for a shepherd mix named Brisket, 2 border horses, and 7 hens that have names I will not embarrass myself by saying out loud. My hands have been broken twice, my collarbone once. I have a scar on my left forearm from an Appaloosa stallion who did not want a tetanus shot. I do not panic easily. I almost panicked that night. The night this happened was a Tuesday in October. I had finished a foaling at a ranch 20 miles south at 11:30, driven home with bloody coveralls in the back of my truck, scrubbed off, and gotten into bed at 12:45. 15 minutes later, my phone rang on the dresser, and the ringtone was the one I had set for my cousin Lennox. And Lennox did not call me at 1 in the morning. Lennox did not call me much at all. We had been close as kids. We had not been close as adults. The last actual conversation we had was at our grandmother's funeral 9 months earlier. I picked up. She was crying so hard I could barely understand her. The first thing she said, before hello, before my name, was, "Sutton, lock every door and every window right now. Lock the gate. Lock the barn. Don't let anyone in. Not anyone. Not Aunt Marilyn. Not Uncle Garrett. Not even Daddy. Promise me." Before I tell you what my cousin had walked in on at our grandmother's house 10 minutes earlier, and what I found buried in the floor of my own barn at 1:30 in the morning, hit subscribe. Tell me your city in the comments. I am only telling this story once, in one video, and I want to know who hears it. Listen to the end. There is a part you cannot see coming. I sat up in bed and put my feet on the cold pine floor. "Lenny, what is going on? Where are you?" she was whispering. I could hear, behind her, the very faint creak of a wooden floor. "I'm at Mama's old house. I'm in the back closet of the upstairs bedroom. They don't know I'm here. They think I left at 10. I came back because I forgot my charger and I saw the cars in the driveway and I went in the side door and they're already inside the house, Sutton. All of them. Daddy, Marilyn, Garrett, the lawyer. The man who isn't a lawyer who comes with the lawyer. They have the boxes from the attic, and they have the safe open, and they have the papers from the safe, and they are doing it tonight." "Doing what?" There was a pause. I could hear her swallow. "They are burning it." Brisket walked into the bedroom. His ears were up. He was looking down the hallway. I could feel my own pulse in the soft part of my throat. "Burning what, Lenny?" "Mama's real will. The original. The notary copy. The records of 2 trusts she set up. A foundation. The papers for property she owned in Colorado that none of us were supposed to know about. The deed to a safe deposit box in San Antonio. Sutton, the will they read at the lawyer's office in Austin 3 weeks after she died was not the will Mama wrote. Mama left almost everything to you and me. There was money. A lot of money. She told me about it the week before she died, and she made me swear not to say anything until after the will was read because she wanted to see what they would do." The room went very still. My grandmother had been 91 years old. She had died in her sleep at her own kitchen table, a half-eaten piece of pie in front of her, the radio on. The county coroner had ruled it natural causes. I had carried her casket. I had spoken at her funeral. "Lenny, are you telling me Daddy did something to her?" "I'm telling you I don't know what he did. I'm telling you I have spent 9 months trying not to know. I'm telling you I came back for a charger tonight and I heard him laugh in her kitchen. Sutton, I heard him laugh about you. He said you were the easy one. He said you would never know. He said Mama had ruined you with the 12 acres and that you were too soft to ever fight back. He said in the morning they were going to call you and tell you Mama had left a small extra bequest and they were going to ask you to come to Austin to sign for it, and you would come, because you trust him, and you would sign 3 pieces of paper that closed the door on everything Mama ever owned. He laughed about it, Sutton. They all laughed. Brisket was at my front door now. He was not barking. He was not growling. He was just standing in front of it, very still, looking out the small window at the top. "Lenny, hold on." I got off the bed. I walked down the hallway barefoot in a t-shirt and underwear. I stood beside Brisket. I looked through the window. There was a truck parked at the end of my driveway, where the driveway met the road. Headlights off, engine off. The driveway was a 1/4 mile long. The truck was parked exactly far enough away that I could not see who was inside, and exactly close enough that whoever was inside could see anything that came in or out of my gate. I did not say anything for a moment. I went back to the bedroom. I picked up the phone. Lenny, there is a truck at the end of my driveway. She made a sound I am not going to forget for as long as I live. Half cough, half laugh, half sob. Of course there is. They knew I would call somebody. They knew the somebody would be you. They are not coming inside your house. They are watching it. They needed you in your bed until morning. They needed you to drive into Austin to sign the papers. The truck at your gate is to make sure you stay there until they come for you. Sutton, listen to me. Mama planned for this. She planned for this for almost 3 years. There are 3 things you need to do in the next 20 minutes. She was talking very fast now. There is a fire safe buried under the hay in the left stall of your barn, 6 feet from the back wall, just left of center. Mama had it installed 11 months before she died. The combination is your mother's birthday in reverse. Inside, the safe is everything. Originals, notarized copies, a USB drive, a letter from Mama to you. There is a phone number written under the spare tire of your truck. Once you have the safe, you call that number and tell whoever answers Mama's name, and they will know what to do. Lenny, what about you? There was a long silence. I cannot get out of this closet without going past the kitchen. They will see me. They are not going to physically hurt me, Sutton. They are going to do worse. They are going to make me sit at that table with them, and they are going to make me agree to things. And I am going to agree, because I am tired, and I have been agreeing my whole life, and tonight I cannot agree. Not after what I heard. I need you to come get me. I cannot do this part myself. I need you. I need you to come right now. I closed my eyes. I thought about the truck at my gate. I thought about my grandmother at her kitchen table with a piece of pie. I thought about my father laughing. I opened my eyes. Stay where you are. Do not move. Do not breathe loud. I am coming. If I do not call you back in 40 minutes, you call Deputy Raina Cardenas at the county sheriff. Her number is in the contacts of the phone Mama gave you for Christmas the year before she died. You still have that phone. Mama said you would. Tell her my name. Tell her where you are. Stay in the closet until she gets there. Sutton, I am coming. 40 minutes. I hung up. I went to the closet. I put on jeans and a long-sleeve work shirt and barn boots and my heavy work coat. I put the phone in my chest pocket. I went to the kitchen. I took my truck keys off the hook. I took the spare key for the back gate of the property out of the drawer where I kept it. I took the rifle out of the cabinet by the back door because I lived on 12 acres in the country, and that is what people who live on 12 acres in the country keep by the back door. I checked it. I did not load it. I took 2 bullets and put them in my coat pocket. I went out the back. The motion light over the porch did not come on. I had taken the bulb out the week before because a possum kept setting it off at 3 in the morning, and I had not replaced it yet. Whoever was in the truck at the front of the driveway could not see the back of my house. The yard ran down to the barn in a long slope, and the slope was lit by nothing except the moon, and the moon was thin that night. I stayed in the shadow of the live oaks along the back fence. Brisket came with me. He moved through the pasture like he had been waiting his whole life for the order. The horses heard us coming and pricked their ears at the sound, but they did not startle. They knew me. They knew Brisket. They went back to whatever horses do at 1 in the morning. I went into the barn through the side door. I did not turn on the lights. I knew the layout of my own barn the way I knew the layout of my own hand. I went into the left stall. I moved the hay off the spot Lennox had described. The fire safe was set into the floor under a square of plywood. I had walked over it for 2 years. I had never seen it. I dialed in my mother's birthday in reverse. The lock turned with a small mechanical click. The safe opened. Inside was a manila envelope, an accordion file fat with paper, a USB drive, and a single sheet folded in half. I took the sheet out first. I held it up to the moonlight coming through the high barn window. It was in my grandmother's handwriting. It said, "Sutton, if you are reading this, I have been right about something I hoped I was wrong about. I am sorry. The good news is I have been planning for this for almost 3 years. The better news is you do not have to be smart tonight. You only have to be careful. Take everything in this safe. Take Lennox if she is with you. Drive. Do not stop in any town within 100 miles. There is an envelope under the spare tire of your truck. Call that number. Tell them my name. They will know what to do. I love you so much. I love you so much. Mama." I sat down in the hay in the dark with my grandmother's letter in one hand and Brisket's head against my knee, and for 1 full minute I cried. Then I put the letter back in the safe with the rest. I put the safe contents into a feed sack from the corner of the barn. I closed the safe. I put the hay back the way it had been. I walked out the side door of the barn. I went the long way through the pasture, around the chicken coop, behind the tractor shed, out the back gate. The back gate of my property opens onto an unmaintained ranch road that runs through the neighbor's hayfield and connects, 2 miles later, to a county road that does not go past my front gate. I had not driven the back ranch road in 2 years. I drove it that night with my headlights off, in low gear, with Brisket in the passenger seat, with the feed sack on the floorboard between his paws, and a rifle across the back seat. I came up on my grandmother's house from the wrong direction. I parked the truck behind a stand of cedar trees a quarter mile from the house on a stretch of caliche that ran along the back of the property. I got out. Brisket got out. We walked. The cars were still there. Daddy's truck, Maryland's Suburban, Garrett's Lexus, 2 cars I did not recognize. I could see a thin gray smoke rising from behind the house, from the back porch where my grandmother used to drink coffee in the mornings. The smell of the smoke was wrong. It was paper smoke. Files. I went around to the side of the house, the side under Lennox's window. The grass was high. The crickets were so loud I could feel them in my teeth. I texted her. I am here. Side yard. She did not answer for a long minute. Then the upstairs back window opened, very slowly, and Lennox came out onto the small slanted roof over the kitchen porch. She was barefoot. She had her shoes in one hand and her phone in the other and a small purse over her shoulder. The roof was old. It creaked under her. From the kitchen, 10 feet below her, I heard my father say, "What was that?" Lennox froze. From the kitchen, my Aunt Marilyn said, "Settling. This whole house has been settling for 60 years. Garrett, give me the next stack." Lennox started moving again. She got to the edge of the roof. She sat down. She lowered herself off the edge until she was hanging by her fingers from the gutter. She was 4 feet above the ground. I held my arms up. I caught her. We did not speak. We walked together across the side yard, into the back pasture, toward the cedar break where I had parked the truck. We walked the way you walk when you are not allowed to make any sound. Brisket walked between us. We made it to the truck. I helped Lennox in. I closed her door as quietly as I could. I got in. I did not turn on the headlights. I drove out the back, in low gear, in the dark, on the ranch road, the way I had come in. We drove for 10 miles, before either of us said anything. Lennox said, "Did you get the safe?" I nodded. I could not speak yet. She put her hands over her face. She cried. Brisket pushed his head between us from the back seat and put it on her shoulder. I let her cry. I drove. I called the number from the spare tire when we hit pavement. A man answered on the second ring. He was awake. He had been waiting. I told him my grandmother's name. He said, "Sutton, tell me where you are. I will meet you in San Antonio in 3 hours." I did not ask how he knew my name. I drove. The fight took 11 months. There were depositions. There was forensic accounting. There was a handwriting expert. There was a witness who came forward, an older woman from my grandmother's church, who had seen things and signed things and had been waiting 9 months for somebody to ask. The will that had been filed at the courthouse was thrown out. The original will was admitted. The trusts were honored. The foundation was funded. The Colorado property came back. My father, my Aunt Marilyn, my Uncle Garrett, the lawyer, and the man who was not a lawyer were named in a civil suit. There is also a separate criminal investigation that I am not going to talk about because it is ongoing and my lawyer would kill me. I have not spoken to my father in 22 months. I have not spoken to my aunt or my uncle. I do not know if I ever will. There are people in my life who think I should. They think family is family and that I should at least pick up the phone if he calls. He has not called. None of them have called. They are waiting for me to be the one to extend the hand, the way I have always been the one to extend the hand. I am not going to. There is a story we tell ourselves about family. The story says that the people who share blood with you are obligated to love you, and you to them. The story says that if you are estranged from your family, something is wrong with you. The story says that any conflict can be repaired with enough patience and enough forgiveness and enough effort by the person who got hurt. The story is a beautiful, useful lie that has kept generations of people inside rooms they should have left a long time ago. The truth is that some people who share blood with you are using that blood as a leash. They are using it to keep you close enough that they can hurt you. They are using the word family the way some people use the word love, which is to say, as a tool. The night Lennox called me, she said the words, "Not even Daddy." She said them because she knew, somewhere underneath all the years of being a good daughter, that the man who raised her was capable of standing in his own dead mother's kitchen and laughing about how easy it was going to be to take everything from his own niece. She knew it because she was his daughter. She had felt it her whole life. She had never let herself say it out loud. That night she said it out loud to me. That was the bravest thing anybody has ever done for me. Lennox lives 40 minutes from me now. She left her job. She left her marriage, which is a different story I am not going to tell here. She is finishing a degree she started 15 years ago and never finished. She comes for dinner every Sunday. She brings her 2 daughters, who are 6 and 9. They ride my horses. Brisket loves them. The younger one is teaching herself to braid manes and has decided that the older border horse, an aging quarter horse named Domino, is in love with her. He probably is. We have built something out of 2 adults and 2 children, and a dog and 4 horses and 7 hens, and the something we have built is much smaller than what we had before, and it is, for the first time in either of our lives, safe. Here is what I learned. Love does not require you to be smaller than you are. Love does not require you to never ask questions. Love does not laugh about you in a kitchen the night your grandmother dies. The blood you were born with is not a contract. It is an accident of biology. The family you choose, the family that calls you from a closet at 1 in the morning at the risk of her own father, the family that crosses 2 pastures in the dark to come get you, the family that builds something with you out of the ashes of what you both lost. That is the family you owe loyalty to. That is the only family that has earned it. If somebody in your life right now is making you feel like leaving them is unthinkable because you share blood with them, please, just for a moment, ask yourself what they have done with that blood. Ask yourself what they have built with it. Ask yourself, honestly, whether they are using it as a connection or as a leash. Tell me down below if there is somebody in your life who is the family you chose. Tell me their name, not the family you were given, the family you chose. I want every name in those comments to be a person who would come for you in a closet at 1 in the morning, not because they had to, but because they decided to. Those are the only names that matter. There are not as many of them as we tell ourselves. The ones we have, we should hold tighter than we hold anything else. Mama knew that. She held it. She held me. She held Lennox. She held us across 9 months of being dead. She is the reason I am sitting here tonight, on a porch she paid for with her own life, in a house she gave me on purpose. I will spend the rest of mine trying to deserve it.